will be exploring Long Island's manufacturing industry, and I'm very happy today to introduce Kris Derrig. She's the president of Action Machine Products, and she's going to speak a little bit about her background and the company. Welcome. Thanks
Good
for being
morning,
here.
Lisa. How are you?
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about your background, a female, of course, in the manufacturing industry, and of course, your company.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Kris Derrig. I'm president and owner of Action Machine Products. We've been in business 50 years. We're a small CNC job shop on Long Island. We make small parts for military, the aerospace, commercial aerospace, medical, anything really that people need parts for, we can make. Most of it is made out of metal and some plastic, but not too much. And we have been doing that probably for the past 30 years. I've been on board. Before that, we were a different type of shop, and based on the way that the industry changes, we had to change with it, which is constantly happening these days. So we're now involved in what I just spoke of, and I came on board in college because there really wasn't a whole lot of opportunities out there, and my dad said, why don't you come work for me? And I tried it, and I liked it, and here I am 30 years later. I don't know what I was thinking. I bought it from him. It was my grandfather's, my father, and now myself, so we're third generation. And it's been a challenge, but all good. It's been definitely strange coming up in the world of men,
Yes.
which was really what it was like years ago. Now it's definitely has changed so much, and it's very much more accepting of women and again, challenges, but we all have them. And to me, I say bring it on, because it just makes me stronger. It makes the company stronger. So that's where we're at now. And we're looking for people to come in and grow with us. A lot of people don't know that manufacturing exists or what it even is. And we're trying to get the word out that it's a viable opportunity with possibilities of growth that are really endless. Depends on what you want to do, how far you want to take it, and how much time you want to put in. Like anything else, you get out what you put into it.
Let's talk about that. What kind of people do you employ, and what do they do?
Well, currently we're 10 people. So I have machinists that vary from operator up to what we call step people. And it's the skill level of each person that makes it different. And we have purchasing. We have a quality person who checks all of the work we do, because we have very stringent regulations that we have to follow. We have to make parts to the blueprints. We can't deviate. And when you're in a production run, you're making thousands of parts. They all have to be right, especially when they're going up in airplanes and people's lives at stake. So it's important, the quality aspect of it. We have shipping. And for us, that's pretty much what we have, just because of the size of our business. However, if you go to the larger companies, you have engineering departments, manufacturing engineering, mechanical engineering. The list is endless. You have people that do, accounting in the offices and all of the different stuff, payrolls. So we have, that on a smaller scale, but because we are 10 people, we wear a lot of different hats. So that's becomes more of a job for a person along with something else. But in a larger company, you've got all these different, categories that you could go get jobs in and be in the manufacturing.
Talk about a little bit about people entering your industry or your company, and then the growth that some of them might have, maybe some of their backgrounds and all.
So entry really depends on what you're coming in with. you could come right off the street with nothing, and you starting, really at minimum wage. That's kind of where that goes. If you're going to be a machinist, if you have technical skills, obviously you come in at a higher level, and you can be probably trained much faster than somebody that has no training whatsoever. The opportunities, though, are definitely there for growth. Again, there's schooling you can go get. You can go to colleges. They do have programs. You can do apprentice programs, and you can also do courses like blueprint reading, quality control. There's many different aspects of it that you can go into, and avenues that you take to better yourself in whatever option that you choose to be in the manufacturing industry. And it will take a while. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's something that you're going to learn overnight. I'm 30 years in, and I learn something new every day. It's it's definitely something, and it changes like everything today. It changes so fast because of technology. It's not like it used to be. Now you're overnight, new things are happening, and you got to stay on top of it.
What kind of skills do you look for in someone, and what kind of personality?
Well, if their interest is to be in the actual manufacturing of it, operating the machines and all that, programming, you need to learn that. Even before that, you need blueprint reading. You have to learn how to use the instruments to check your parts. So a little bit calipers, things like that, a comparator. You also, you definitely need pretty good math skills. I would say that's a definite necessity. Even though we all have calculators these days, it's good to have a good working knowledge of your fractions and decimals and things along those lines. Which sounds easy, but listen, for a lot of people, it's not. Now, if you're gonna go into the purchasing aspect, I mean, you need computer skills. Computer skills are definitely in this industry for at least our shop. It's a must. There are people that aren't great with computers these days, but they've grown up in the industry, so they have other things that they bring to the table. But I think to come into this industry at the level we need you now, to give you the growth that you need to get further along faster, you've got to have the computer skills. Everything we touch now, all the machines are computerized.
Mhm.
So that's what CNC means. So it's very important that computers are computer math, blueprint reading, and this is really basics. I think for any industry job you're going to come into, that you need definitely have that, and you need people skills. We're one of these places where I don't generally work like this with a computer screen to somebody else. I actually have to go into work most of the time. I mean, we need to be there to produce. The machines can run, a lot of them can run on their own. Still need to set them up. You still need to check the parts. You got to make sure things are good. So it's a hands-on type of environment, and you're definitely got to be a team player, because we're with each other 8, 10, 12 hours a day. It's very important that we do our best to make it work.
Mhm.
So that's what we need in people.
Now, you also have people who do sales for you. I mean, how do you, get out the word of who you are and what you do and all?
Well, sales is my job, actually.
Okay.
I don't have a salesperson. You're looking at her. It's for us, it's an area of improvement. We do need somebody, actually. There is opportunity for our company for that. I found over the years, because of what we do and we don't make a product, it's been a little difficult getting somebody in to do sales. So that's my struggle. And it doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just hasn't yet. And we've been lucky enough that we have just word of mouth, networking, getting out there, job shop shows, different avenues of that. We've managed to get new customers from all of that. So that's where we stand today. I think to grow, we're probably going to need to get on board with a salesperson. So that's a area that we need, sales, marketing. So somebody could come in and help us. Unfortunately, in a small company, it's probably the first thing that doesn't happen. And you're focused on production all the time. So you spend money on making your machines better, in technology, in your staffing. So I feel like everything falls to the wayside sometimes, but it's definitely something that is an opportunity for us to pursue further. A big thing now is also cybersecurity. For people out there, the big primes are telling us all we need to be cybersecurity. There's a whole list of things that we need to do. Eventually they want to make it so it's some kind of certification. So if you're good in computers, and you can, again, the larger companies probably have computer people on staff. I hire out for that, but larger companies hire in for that. So that's another opportunity for somebody to look at. Again, but in a manufacturing environment. So it would be good to come in and get a background of manufacturing and understand what it is.
And what about like your website? Who does that?
We have a company offline that does take care of that. I don't use my website like other people use their website. It's an informational tool for me. That's it. I don't take orders on it. I don't put deliveries on it. We're not that type of a shop. We're not a catalog shopper. We don't make parts like that. If you want a part from me, you send me a blueprint. If I can make it, I give you a price. And there's nothing, everything's a la carte. There's nothing off my shelf that somebody's going to come in and need my website to do business that way. So it's informational. It shows that we exist. We are an actual company and not a fiction, just a name out there. We have people, we have a building. So that's what it is. And I think that's what customers and some employees look for, just to make sure, see who you are. What kind of building are they going into? Stuff like that.
So tell me about the person who's been there the longest. How long have they been there? And where did they start?
Oh, the person who's been there the longest, I have two. I think they actually came in the same year. One of them is a machinist, and the woman who has been my dad's right hand, my grandfather's right hand, and she's my right hand now, is our general manager, Nancy. And she's been here, 35 to 40 years. And God bless her. She's had to deal with all the family struggles and nonsense.
How did she start there? What did she start as?
She started as just doing payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable. She was doing numbers, really. She's a great numbers cruncher. And back in the day, what would you call them? They were
Gal Guy Friday.
She wasn't an accountant, but she just, took care of all the data entry. And as we've grown, she's become the scheduler. She's the general manager now. She makes sure that everybody's in the proper place, that the jobs that are coming in go on the correct machines. We schedule the right hours. She's human resources. She's honestly, what hat do you want to wear today? So without her, she's really instituted a lot of the computerized programs that have allowed us to grow. She's really good with all that. She's diligent. She's patient. And she set that all up for us years ago, because my father wasn't that guy. And we've been able to grow with that, and she's really been a huge asset.
Nice.
And the gentleman that is a machinist, he's our go-to for everything. He knows where everything is. If you can't find it, you ask Jose. He knows where it is.
Mhm.
He's been an unbelievable asset as well. He lives locally, and God bless him, he's there every day. He learns. He came over here from Dominican Republic, not speaking any English, and he's grown tremendously. He speaks English. He teaches people what to do. It's great. So
And
those are my two oldest people.
nice, nice. Now, your company is national and international, or what's its reach?
We actually ship to Mexico. We can ship wherever. It doesn't, with your reach is wherever you need it to be these days. UPS, DHL, FedEx, they go everywhere. I don't ship to international. I don't ship to Europe. We used to, not anymore. Canada sometimes. Mostly right now, I ship to Mexico. And for the most part, East Coast to the West Coast. We're mostly domestic at this time. But we can go anywhere. That's not an issue at all. It's a question of where your contacts come in from. It's really it.
So where do you find when you do need people? Where do you find and how do you find people to work for you?
Well, it's very difficult. You post it on the computers, your Indeeds, honestly, nowadays, I feel on Long Island, I think we just keep poaching from everybody else. When somebody doesn't want to be there, they leave. They go to another company. Not a lot of people going into the industry. You do have some. There are programs out there. We're trying to reach the younger generation, and I say, younger meaning high school ages, to at least let them know, hey, we want you to stay here, and we want to invest in you. This is what manufacturing is. But like everything else, it's an understanding and a education of showing them what manufacturing is. They've never, they know what teachers are. They know what lawyers are. They know what a sales clerk is in a store because this is what you do every day. They don't have anything to compare manufacturing to. So we try to get into the schools. We try to get the schools to come to us. It's been a challenge, but we try everything we can. But right now, yeah, there are colleges too. Like I said, Farmingdale has a program. It's not easy for the amount of open jobs and the amount of people going in. It's definitely, it doesn't quite work.
Yes.
The amount of openings, the amount of people coming into the field.
Yes.
Um,
It's very clear what the opportunities are and how important it is to help people with direction and knowledge and an understanding. People don't know. And
no.
how to get this information out, which is the whole objective of Go Career Compass.
Yes, it's important to, if somebody's looking for a job change or somebody's looking to go into something, even, kids in high school, where do you go? I don't want to go to college. It's not really for me. I like working with my hands, or I want to just do something different. What's out there for me? Well, where do you go to find that information? We need someplace educational that says, hey, manufacturing has got all these jobs, and here's the different types of manufacturing that's out there. Maybe this is something you want to look into, and then at least it puts them on a path to start educating themselves on some opportunities that could be out there. I mean, how many jobs are out there in so many different fields that we know nothing about? I mean, I learn about new jobs every day, and I say to people, where did you learn about that? And most of the time, you just stumble upon it somehow.
Yes.
And we don't want that anymore. We need to put manufacturing at the forefront so that kids say, I want to be this. I want to go be a machinist. I want to work in quality. I want to make something that I can put my name behind and I stand behind, that when I get on a plane, I feel comfortable. I feel safe. There's definitely the coolest thing, knowing that you've had a hand in making something that makes the wheels turn on something else in our world.
Yes.
It's really very cool. And
Kris, you're like the perfect person to interview. You've made the whole point of why I'm doing this and
it's
how important.
important.
And you love what you do and you're passionate about it. And that's the message we need to get to people, how important and how great this is to be happy with what you do and to find your place. And so many
Yes.
people wander around wondering, what am I going to be when I grow up? And I hate what I do, or where am I going to go now?
Right,
And you've made
right.
the case for them that there is great opportunity here. You've also made the case of what it's like to run your own business and as a female in the industry. So all those things are just so important, for manufacturing. And manufacturing big on Long Island. And we
It's
need people.
huge.
It's
It's
huge.
huge.
It's
You
huge.
don't realize it's huge. We
Yes.
are here. We
Yes.
are very much here.
Yes.
Um, and it started here. It's still
That's
here.
right. That's right. That's
You
right.
know, forget about China. Forget about all those places. Forget about what you read. We're here, and people here are making livings doing it. It's very important. Go out and learn.
Yes.
Go, pick up the phone book. Well, we don't have phone books anymore. Get on the internet. Research
Google it.
manufacturing. Just type in manufacturing on Long Island. You come up with, all walks of life. It may not be my machine shop. It may be another shop, and you say, that's what I want to do. Each one is different. There's not one of us that's the same. And that's what makes it so interesting. I go into other people's shops, and they teach me what they do, because it's all different. So you really need to just educate yourselves. Once you find something that you go, that's cool, you can look into it. The information with at the computer age, it's at our fingertips. Oops, sorry about that.
It is. It is.
So,
Well, you've made a great case for your industry, and you're a great role model for people as well.
thank you.
And I can't thank you enough for taking this time and explaining your important role and what you've done all these years. And you found your passion, and we all want that.
Yeah, I found it, and again, it came kind of strangely. My father owned the business, but I only did it at home in the basement doing things. It wasn't something that I even understood. Again, and my parents owned the company. So
Right.
you talk about a disconnect, and not until I got older, obviously, that it was, the business has changed a lot. It looked a lot different when I was younger. It's not what you see in movies on the assembly lines, and it looks dirty and all of that. It's come a long way, but it was very much like that when I was a child. And it was a place that my father says, not really where you want to be. And then as it started changing, because technology makes everything change, it got very different. And I think at that point he was like, listen, he goes, just come in and work. I don't think in his head he had me staying to take over the business. I don't think that was in either of our minds at the time, but it was an opportunity that I saw I couldn't pass up,
Sure.
and what better way to, I don't know. It was so cool working with my grandfather and my father. It just it kept me on the path to doing it. And I was, anything that I challenged, I had to get by that. We got to do it. So we just kept pushing. We changed with the times.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to do a virtual tour. We'll be doing a virtual tour of your shop. And
Yes.
I can't wait for people to see what it looks like inside. You mentioned what people think and what the reality is. So we're looking forward to seeing inside in
Great.
the world.
I
So,
look forward to it, showing everybody what we do.
yeah. Yeah. And thank you again for your time
You're
and
welcome.
for sharing your passion. We appreciate it, and we look forward to great workforce in this field because it's a great industry to be in.
Well, I thank you for taking this on and trying to help out people and companies like myself.
Absolutely.
Much
It's time.
appreciated.
Sure. Take care and best of luck and success to you and your
Thank
company.
you, Lisa. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Hi, I'm happy to be here with Nancy Gallagher, who's been with the company for many years. Nancy, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, how you got started, and what you've been doing here all these years.
Hi, I am Nancy Gallagher, and I started here 34 years ago. I answered an ad, happened to be on St. Patrick's Day, and the owner who answered, which was Tad at the time, said to me, with a name like Gallagher, why are you coming out interviewing on a day like St. Patty's Day? Why aren't you in the city? And I said to myself, that's something odd for a business owner to say to an employee potential. And I just laughed, and we talked, and I felt right at home. I felt right at home. It's his father and grandfather started Big Ed, Action Ed, to Tad, and then Kris came in a couple of years through college and stuff, and then she eventually worked here full time. And I started out with just your basic bookkeeping, but you know, as a small family-owned business, hands-on means just that. You touch every part of the business. So some days I would come in, I'd be shipping. Some days I'd come in, I'd be working on a machine, believe it or not, and do all that. And it's very diversified. I love it. And we started out very small, under $1 million, and now we're over $2 million. So it's a beautiful thing to have worked with them and developed all this and helped be a part of their growth and their family business. It's just wonderful. I'm blessed. I love it.
Feel lucky to have you.
Yes, thank you.
So what do you enjoy most about working here?
I like it because we're casual and always open to discussions and ideas, and it works. It's a good fit. Sometimes when you work in a small place, you need to connect with someone, and it fits. So that's, and it's casual. I said casual, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else? What else do I like about working here? You know what? I love the guys. I love production. To me, they're everything. I'm nothing. If I don't give them all that they need to get their job done right, fast, as quick as possible, and make money on it, we don't go anywhere. So I'm so supportive of the guys on the shop floor that I'm always trying to get whatever tools that they need to make their job easier.
So you and Kris are the only women in this company
Yes,
at the present time?
Yes, we are. But
Okay.
believe it or not, when I first started here, we had women on the shop floor.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're going back a lot of years, and we had a lot of different equipment back then, which we'll walk around and I'll show you what we have currently. We don't have anything that we had back then. Everything was automatic. It was pretty strange. But yes, just us two and 8 guys, or 6. We're down to that now with the COVID-19 going on.
Sure.
And we just find a good fit, and we try to put everybody, like her father always said, Ted, put everybody in the right seat on the bus.
Yes, yes.
To get us all working together.
Well, I assume in the future there'll be plenty of opportunities for males and females.
Yes, yes, I hope so.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. There
Great.
should be.
Great. Well, can't wait for the tour. Thanks so much for your remarks. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
And machines, and this is some of the tooling that we have that they use to machine parts. Anyway, they're fixtures that go in the computer, that go into the machine rather, to hold tooling for dimensions that you need to hold tight.
Jonathan Whitman, I'm the quality control inspector here. So I basically take everything that we produce and I try to verify it so that it meets the customer's needs.
And how long have you worked here?
I worked here for 2.5 years.
Okay. And how'd you get the job?
I applied online, and it was actually kind of random how I got the job because I didn't apply to be an inspector. I applied to run the machines. That's what I did my old job. But they needed help inspecting here, and I just took to it. It seems to be what I enjoy a lot more than the front of the machines.
Nice, great. So you found your place, huh?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Fantastic. Okay, you want to explain what goes on in this room?
Everything that you see in here is inspection equipment. So we have the mantises, which are basically like magnifying glasses. And we have, this is optical comparator. This allows us to see things in great detail. We have, the Tremos here, which allows us to see things, measure things that are
Minute?
yeah. It's hard to explain because everything in here has a purpose, and everything in here needs to be kept to a standard.
Calibrated.
Right, everything in here needs to be calibrated so we can inspect
Mm-hmm.
things to the highest degree.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you very much.
Where we make our own, sometimes the guys need to make their own tooling to make a special tool that'll fit a certain way to get to a dimension that we need to, certify to the customer. We also may need to get a certain finish on a part, which I don't know if we can show you some parts or not later, that need to be a certain finish, like a bright finish or a dull finish. And this is old equipment, which is, everything's done by hand, and no noise, no computerized, and it's just, this is really how machine shops used to start to look like way back in the day. So, however, going forward, you still have to have sometimes hands-on things to get the job done. You can't always go technology great and it doesn't work. You have to go back to the basics sometimes. So over here we have some storage packages that we use for, if you want to discuss this, explain that to pack parts. We have our material over here that's all labeled in kind of like cubby holes, and A through Z and 1 through 10 or whatever, and everything's inspected when it comes in for the size, the diameter, and the length. And we check the material certifications that come in from the vendor, make sure that they comply to the spec that we need that's given to us by the customer on their blueprint. We have a couple of machines here. These are a little older. One in the back that we do machine some like covers. So this is CNC equipment. If you want, we'll go down and I'll show you a really nice piece of equipment. All these machines can go up to 2.5-inch diameter bar. It's a machine, and we take a 12-foot bar length and we machine little parts. We have some shipping area over here. When they're completed with the manufacturing parts, they come up here waiting for Jonathan, who's the inspector, to look at them, check them, make sure they fit to the blueprint spec, and then we would clean them up and process them to ship or to go to another vendor for another service that might need to be done. It might need to be plated for color or anodized or passivated for cleanliness and things like that. Real simple, we use a little cleaning machine. Hands on it. Let me just see this. This equipment here we got a couple of years ago. This is all new technology. Where if you were sitting at your desk at home with a computer and a screen, this is what you'd be working with. This is really state of the art. It may not look it because it's a little old, and we'll show you another piece of equipment that does the same thing. But if you're a little kind of a geeky person and you want to sit down and do numbers and maybe make something, design something, this has the capability to do that. You take your dream, the bar, make it into a hand-sized part.
We're going to look a little closer.
On,
We're going to look a little closer just to see what it looks like. Nice tools.
Some standard tools that we need, that everybody gets to use. When we're finished with it, they put it back. It's labeled, has a place for what it is, and it's also on wheels, so you can move it to the machine if you need to. Now, if you notice, some of the machines have a long bar feeder, it's called. You want to back up a little bit. You see that long tube that goes out, that's called a bar feeder. And that's where the 12-inch bar would go in and be pulled, and then you start machining the piece and come off. We have two pieces of equipment over here that don't have that. We call them a chucking machine because you literally have to stand here. And here we have a new piece of equipment that we got about a year ago that really is top of the line CNC equipment. It's got two turrets where part can be in the middle, and this turret can machine one end of the part, and this turret can machine another end of the part, and I'll show you the inside just as we get there. This is only 6-foot bars that we do. It's just set up differently the way the manufacturer designed the machine. So we use 6-foot bar lengths versus 12-foot over there. So come on in, I'll show you a little bit. The machine's not working right now, but again, this is all computerized, and it's the same as sitting at your desk and working with a program on that. And in here, you can see there's two turrets with two spindles, and you'll see the sections where different size tools are put in and secured, tightened up, and that's it moves back and forth, up and down, and there's the bar in the middle, and the piece comes out, and sometimes it ends up looking like, I don't have any pieces here. I don't have any pieces. I could probably show you over on shipping. And this is top of the line technology. This is what you geeks want to run. This is it. This is it.
Now, is there any kind of special training that people need to be able to run a machine like this?
Absolutely, you do. We would probably, if someone just wanted to come in and start machining and just get into the field like you would as a mechanic of some sort, we would put you starting on probably the GTs over there, which is our secondary machines, because you're hand loading a machine, the piece. You're not really in something like this. This, you probably need a degree, an engineering degree of some sort. That will help. It's not mandatory. And there is training. There are companies out there that we have sent our employees to go for a week or 2 weeks to get training on certain equipment. We've also had the manufacturer send a technician in, and he'll work with our guys for, week, 10 days, come back every Monday kind of a thing, help set this all up, train, and it's been great. They help us tremendously, and they know the ins and outs, and but it's good. If you're a kind of person, male or female, that you want to get hands-on, touchy touch, this is it. This is where you get down and dirty and you make something that really, literally is manufactured. And that means everything that you have on, a ring, an earring, your cup, your glass, your pen, anything. You go on an airplane, the wings, the motors, the little pieces, anything. It's all manufactured. And this is one area that we do manufacturing for aerospace, some medical, all small parts in about 2.5-inch diameter, kind of like a 2.5-inch square box that parts will fit. We don't do anything bigger than that. It's just our niche, we call it, because it's the size of machines that we have, and it works for us.